We expect to do. Where too many bullets are flying through windows, doors, and walls, too many children and adults are being cut down, too many human beings are threatened at a grocery store, a football game, or in a neighborhood. Right. We're here to share our own words, like the 5 sisters, like those 5 pioneering women. With all in our society, we will say that all of our lands, all of our homes, all of our neighborhoods must be safe and secure and inhabited. We will make them our own places of life, not death, places of safety, not loss, places of contentment, not mourning, places of hope and calm and love, places of security for everyone. This is the reason we're here tonight, to hear the message of 5 sisters, to hear the words of our neighbors and share our words, and to move forward, because each and every one of us is a sister. Each of us is a brother. Each of us is a mother, a father, a child of the people. Each of us is a child of God. And just as God will stop and transform by the voices of 5 sisters, God is being stopped and listening to us. So now we're, and I say, may the Lord bless all of us with strength of mind and power of heart. May the Lord lift up God's face to see us so that He sees each and every one of us in our own eyes. He looks in our eyes and we are looking into His eyes. May the Lord turn His face to us. And we will see God's face drop for us every single day in confidence, in safety, and we'll all know peace. And we all say, Amen.
First of all, I want to recognize and give honor and love to our special guests, all of you from the community, and especially to the 2 that will be coming forward to testify. The parent of a victim, and then a perpetrator. And then I would like to recognize fellow ministers who are truly servants of God. I've been tasked now to describe some of our history and what we've done to try to get this program Advanced Peace here in Mobile. In 2017, there were representatives from Faith in Action went to Miami, and they sat in on a training of exactly how Advanced Peace worked. It's a unique program because the people they use to go out into the community to work with potential shooters and some known shooters have been incarcerated for violent crime. They did their time and they got out. and turn their lives around. And that serving the community in ways that you and I couldn't. Then, shortly after that, the delegation I was went to Atlanta. And we went through a training. We met two of the recipients of the Advanced Peace Program. And they explained how much the program had meant to them. And we sat through the training. We asked questions. And we were convinced that this was worth looking into. So we did. We did more research on it. We had meetings on it. Sometimes we're so tired to get home, and then we have meetings to discuss this. And I still go. My brothers and sisters in Faith in Action. In 2019, we had Devon come, who was the former police officer that left the department and set up this program, to explain it firsthand in person. And we had community folks there. We had somebody, senators, representatives, city council members, and we met with the chief of it. This program reduced gun violence in Redmond, California, first year by 60%. Think about it, 60%. And we felt like we were so close to getting Mobile to help adopt us. But it wasn't to be. And some of us are still trying to figure out why. Anytime a program comes up like this, it's always, well, it's going to cost money. Every gun violent victim ended in homicide cost the city of Mobile, the county, and the state of Alabama $765,000 over the lifetime. So that's a fact. And we shared this information out too. Advanced Peace Program will be a fraction of that, less than half. So what we're doing now, we're taking it to the community. We're taking it to you. And we're going to be speaking in other communities too about the same thing. To raise awareness, to see what we're going through. Now, Dr. Pepper said that we shouldn't point blame. And I don't think it's point blame if we state the fact. A lot of the violence that takes place, the people come from poverty-stricken communities. Some of the children have been traumatized from the time they were little, either by witnessing violence, having a friend or relative die from it, or just the violence of living in poverty. Untreated, that leads to post-stress disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder. And I'm going to say this, and I think I'm going to use a unique position to say this, but it's the elephant in the room. If this were happening in West Mobile, like it's happening in our communities, something would have already been done. Right? That's what I believe. And I think a lot of people believe that too, because they see what the facts are. We are not expendable. Our children are not expendable. We are worth it. And some of us are where we are just by accident of birth. Right? Born into poverty, or you're born into wealth. Wealth that you didn't really work for, you don't inherit. So what the Advanced Peace Program does, it surrounds these recipients with services like GED, counseling, drug rehab, job training, because a lot of them suffer from post-traumatic stress. And it treats the whole person. You know, I need to line it down. But if we want to have the beloved community that we deserve, we have to unite. These citizens, yourselves, are going to have to come together and say, we want this to happen. We're seeing our children shot and killed. My brother, Dr. Michael Jackson, I don't sure what he said. I am so tired. I'm so tired of hearing all these young men. If we can unite, and we'll take this into the white churches too, because I believe there are people there, and I know just from what I see here tonight, that are just as concerned as we are about themselves. But if we can unite, we will become that powerful, unsettling force Dr. King talked about. To get those in power to say yes when they desire to say no. And we can do this. We can do this. I'll end on this. When asked what the greatest law was, Jesus said, love the Lord your God, with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind. Love your neighbor as yourself. The mantra that you hear tonight was, I do this because I want to do it. Well, I do this because I want to do this. But I want to see you and your children want to.
I'm going to ask the team upstairs, or Walker, you will dim the lights just one spots, please. Ladies and gentlemen, this portion of our action and our coming together tonight is perhaps the most important portion of the evening. This is the portion where we hear from those who have been impacted or impactors in our community. This is the moment where we hear from the senior statesmen of not only in the clerical ranks, but in our community. We hear from a mother who lost children. Hear from a young man who was walking down a crooked path but now is on strange to me. We hear from one of our public servants who is on the front lines every day. They're only going to share for a few moments, but let this sink in. Let this sink in. Their stories, because we want this to be the portion where you're able to say, we want to be. Good evening. My name is Michael Jackson. Excuse me. For 45 years, I'm fortunate to serve as pastor in the England Missionary Baptist Church here on the north side of the city. Most of the years I served in the church that was surrounded by public housing. I'll share two stories with you. My story on one of many clerical leaders and rabbis, imams, and pastors. 3 o'clock one evening, I was getting ready to drive north from my state to Revival. I received a phone call. The mother, president of our Mission Women's Society, the best of us, her son had gunned down when he went in the game. I can't begin to tell you the agony that I was feeling. I knew what was going to have to transpire in the next 7 days. Of course, her faith believed wrapped around her. But only a mother could understand what she was feeling. Her child was snatched from her. Brothers and sisters that live on without their loved one. And I would call upon, as all of our ministerial leaders are, at that time, and the question that usually asked, even if it's not said verbally, is there a word from the Lord? God got to say every time. Well, we have to suffer that thing to make it happen. Find a way to look, God, what you want me to tell you. A few years later, a 19-year-old young man was gunned down. His family called me. And the same thing happened. But what was so striking about this, the young man's uncle came to the microphone and pleaded with the young folk, the millennials in the crowd, please put down your guns. Two weeks later, he was gunned down. And here we are again, one more time. I'm no longer pastor at church, but I still feel the pain. Yes, I did say it, and I say it again. I'm tired of preaching funeral of lives cut too short. I know you're tired too. But we can't just be tired. It got to stop. We got to work together. Now, you can't point finger at any one group. We got to pull this thing together. We're going to do this. My name and others, Norbert and others, we decided we're going to give our life to it.
We're gonna die trying to live and help our young people live and be the best they can be. My brothers and sisters.
My name is Champ David. I'm from the mean streets of the city of Richmond. Where I grew up in a popular street environment, gun violence has always been a part of my life. I was traumatized, brutalized by gun violence. It is almost safe to say that gun violence is in my DNA. My grandfather was a shooter. My uncles on both sides, my mother and father, side was a shooter. So being traumatized by gun violence at a youthful age, I made a bad mistake in killing somebody. At the age of 18, I was sentenced to life in prison. Inside the Alabama prison system, I encountered so many people just like myself, full of anger, rage, misled and misguided, because they had been victimized by a system that just didn't give a damn about it. Excuse me, I forgot I went to church. But let me say something. Pastor Luke said keep it 100, so I gotta keep it 100. So today, in our community is deteriorating so bad that right around the corner, you got people that'll kill you fast as you can say Jesus will. You can go down Michigan Avenue and get a pound of dope, crooked, corrupt assault rifle faster than you can go to Mobile County Personnel Board and get a decent job. And it is by design. And the reason why we don't want to deal with the fact systemic racism still plays a part. If white folks were dying the way that we're dying in Pritchard, Maysville, Tomerville, and down the bay, it'll be a state of emergency. So that's why I'm passionate about changing lives. Because somebody reached out to me and they imparted love and understanding and showed me that there's a better way. So I'm a prime example that people can change. We don't care what you think until you start embracing the people and showing them love and showing them that you care, more people gonna die. And somebody gonna die tonight. Somebody gonna get shot tomorrow. A juvenile probation officer told me about 6 months ago, he said that he got more people in private school than he have at Williamson High School on probation. And he was shocked. I said, well, think about this here. The people that live on Snow Road and on College Hill, they have the wealth to put their children in private school. But we put our children in alternative school, and they go over there and act a donkey, and we think it's okay. Those kids need some help. They need moral support and a better understanding. So, I'm tired of watching people die that can be saved. Young people in our community, they are already picking out what they want to wear to their funeral. And that is sad. And I had 2 kids that I used to mentor that told me their parents that gave me their bodies had buried my son. One of them had a red outfit he all wanted to get buried in. And that is something. So to wrap it up, we want our people to deal. We want our people to enjoy a decent quality of life. And it can be done. So tonight I'm going to bring my friend up here. She has been a victim of gun violence. They're going to be hard. So I want y'all to listen carefully and bear with her. Just pray you're doing it for the people.
Well, my name is Deshana Pickler. I have 2 kids. Well, I was a mother of 2 children that was part of a victim of gun violence. Starting out, my daughter, she was just killed back in July of this year. everybody was on the ground. He ran, caught a bullet in the head. He lost his eye, but he's still alive. He had 4 scholarships in football, but of course he couldn't play because he got some eye. Still have the bullet inside his head. Maybe one day the doctor said he either sneeze it out or he'd fall. He's still alive. He was fully conscious when he got shot. Thank God for that. He was able to talk and speak and tell who he was, his name and all. And this violence with guns is overpowered. I have been so traumatized, and on top of that, my mom died back in June of this year from COVID. So it's been a lot of it. And to lose my daughter the following month over something that was very sensitive because she just walked in on her best friend, boyfriend beating on her, and she just walked in on the kind of de-escalated, shot in the chest and killed her. So right now we're waiting on court. But I want to live. We all want to live. And I'm praying that this thing stops very soon. Thank you.
First of all, Mr. Chairman, I want to shake your hand. Thank you, sir, for keeping it real. Thank you. I'm Captain Bagsley, Mobile Police Department, Precinct 1 Commander. Been a police officer for 24 years. Started at a young age of 18. Ma'am, I'm so sorry for your loss. Like I said, I work for Precinct 1. It is the smallest precinct in the city, however, it is the busiest precinct in the city of Mobile. Impacted consistently with gun violence. Consistently. I speak empathetically for my community and members of my community because I am always embedded in my community, passionate. I have a passion for my community. When I made the rank of captain, I didn't want to go anywhere outside of my community. I wanted to service my community and the community that was impacted the most. So thank you, Chief, for putting me in Precinct 1. Thank you very much for that. Director, Mayor, thank y'all for putting me in Precinct 1. I take that job very seriously and I take it very passionately. And I'm doing everything that I can to build and sustain relationships with members of the community, to reduce this crime, because it starts in the community. And the police, we are a part of the community. However, as we were impacted by COVID, and we saw a lot of our community action groups kind of dwindle down. As we come out of COVID safely, we're able to start getting those back up. I've been to a lot of meetings that are coming up that are planned in the future and previously. So we're trying to get our communities back up. But we are all empowered. If you look at the Word of God, we are all empowered to take back and control our communities. We just have to put the work in. We cannot ignore it. And I'm not up here to preach. I'm a man of God myself, but we are all empowered to take back our communities. We just have to put the work in. The problem, we know where our problems are in our communities. We know where they are. We have to build and sustain a relationship with law enforcement to be able to speak out when those incidents are happening. But what happens oftentimes when we come out to the scene? Nobody wants to say anything to the police. Why is that? I don't understand at all. If you know that your community is being consistently impacted by this criminal, why not help us? Why not help us help you? It baffles me. That's what we're here for. We are here to service you, the community. Help us help you. That's what we're here for. Now, I will give y'all a personal testimony of my own. At the age of, when I was coming up through high school, and Councilman Small, we went to high school together. He know I was a bad boy. I I was on path to destruction. But I thank God for people in my community like my pastor, Jackson. Raise your hand, Pastor Jackson. Mr. Ballas, raise your hand. Members like that in my community that banded with my parents that led me on a path to where I know I needed to be. Y'all ever heard the old saying, it takes a village? What happened to the villages? What happened to them? It's like nobody cares. It's everybody looking out for themselves. And I think that's where we lose the dynamic. Everybody's looking out for themselves. It takes a village to raise a child. We need to get back to those villages. It's accountability all in this room. Not just from a law enforcement standpoint. We come after the fact. But if we do what we need to, as a community, on the front end, you probably wouldn't have to see us that often. We want to see you, but not in terms of a crime element. We want to be able to be out there with you all, doing community functions, not having to just respond to shots fired, homicides, things of that nature. Let's get back to that village. If we do that, I promise you, you will start seeing change in this city overall. Because if we don't care in our communities, we'll never see change. Champ said it best. You will never see change. Somebody will get shot tonight, somebody will get shot tomorrow. If we don't build and sustain our relationships together with the police department and with our communities, you will never see change. We are all accountable. We are. If we want to live, then let's start living. It's as simple as that. It's not hard. Everybody has to take a part in it. Everybody. It takes a village. Let's get back to that village. Thank you.
Good evening, good evening. First giving unto God, acknowledging everyone that is here on this evening, those that are here and that are tuning in. My name is Aisha Davis Williams, and I am a member of Faith in Action Alabama Mobile Hub. I've been a member of Faith in Action a little bit over 2 years, and I decided to become a member because I saw a group of individuals working together to improve my community, our community. Just like Captain Baxter said, I was raised on the importance of a village. And within that village, we must have unity in order to better our community. I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired. I want to live. My task on this evening is to acknowledge our leaders here and organizations. So I'm going to call out names of organizations and leaders, and then when I do, please stand and remain standing. Mount Zion, St. Ignatius, NAACP, Tabernacle Baptist Church, Revelation Missionary Baptist Church, Ainwell Baptist Church, Mobile, Mazhar Islam, I'm sorry. Yes, sir. Thank you. Sorry, my apologies. Stewart Memorial CME, the congregation of Aha Facade, sorry if I missed that. Stand Up Mobile, Alabama Legislature, Representative Clark, Mayor Sandy Stimpson, the Mobile Police Department, Fit and Thrive, Bethel AME, Grace and Truth, Vagabond Missions, City Council representatives. I've seen newly elect Corey Penn, C.J. Smalls, and newly elect William Carroll again. Mr. Carroll. Also, we have Black Empowerment Team, Metro Jail Chaplain, St. James MDC, Enroll, Alabama, Mobile County Public School System School Board Representatives, Crenshaw and Delahaye. Also, we have community activist Huggy Bear, the poet, and J45. If I have omitted anyone, please stand. And Mr. Battles, Mr. Robert Battles, please stand and tell us who you are, who you are. Okay. Says he wants to live. Amen. We want to live. We want to live. Go. Go. We want to live.
We want to live. We want to live. We want to live. We want to live. We want to live. We want to live. We want to live. We want to live. We want to live. We want to live. We want to live. We want to live. We want to live. We want to live. We want to live. We want to live. We want to live.
Thank you. Thank you. What are we going to do? Together. Together.
We are drawing to a close, near a close for tonight. Our ask for action is trifold. Number one, it is to our community to stand up and lead. Number two, it is to law enforcement to realize there are communities and citizens that are concerned and do not view you as the adversary, but also understand it takes compassion and understanding on both sides for life to really be loved and appreciated. And then finally, it is to our municipal officials to take what you hear tonight into your deliberations. How do we better impact our neighborhoods? I say this without fear of contradiction. It's regrettable what happened at Land People Stadium, but somebody needed to wake up. It's regrettable what happened on Azalea Road, Spring Hill Avenue. Somebody's got to wake up. It's regrettable that we have to have testimonies of pain and sorrow, but somebody has to wake up. And it's not the people who we expect or who we're pointing fingers to. It's all of us. Because we all have to wake up. We are honored tonight. And I say that because it's true. William Sandy Stimson is in the building. response to what he has heard tonight. As he comes forward, we want to thank Public Safety Director Batiste. We want to thank Chief Bryan. We want to thank Commander Curtis Graves for their helping us to walk together through this process. We simply want you to hear from our city so that you will know where the heart and the mind of our city is. Let me make this clear as well. Tonight is a night for us as Faith and Action Alabama Mobile Hub to share with you, to hear from you, and to let you know we stand with you. We realize that there are a multitude of programs and organizations and movements that are striving for peace in our streets as well. Matter of fact, we've invited some of our partners to be here with us tonight, and we are grateful for them. We realize that the administration, the school board, city council, county commission, and other entities of authority and change have many people pulling at them from every direction. But we believe if we all put the pieces of the puzzle together, forums like this will be on the decrease. Saturday afternoons will not become parades from Smalls Christian Benevolent and Community. Friday nights will be Friday nights under the lights, not Friday nights in the hospital. And arguments that we used to fight about in school with our hands will not be determined by random gunshots because somebody needs to prove that they're bad. If we're going to really live, we have to understand it's going to take all of us. Again, representative from the administration, following that, Elder Jeffrey T. Brady will come and give us our night in review. And finally, our vice chair of the Mobile Hub and vice chair of our board, Pastor David Frazier, and myself will come with our next steps and call to action. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pastor Lou, for calling this group together and giving me an opportunity to speak. As the mayor, I have the opportunity to, every day, see what goes on in other cities, see what goes on in our city, listen to individuals who are trying to solve the same challenge that we're trying to solve. We convene the mayors of the 10 largest cities, white and black. You look at Montgomery, you look at Birmingham, they have the same challenges we do. There's no way that you, no matter what color you are, that you can't be negatively impacted and your heart hurt when you hear the stories, you know, of the loss of life, children, innocent children, who are reading something in their bedroom and get hit by a stray bullet. And what has the world come to that goes on? If I knew the answer exactly, or if you knew the answer, every one of us would be jumping on that bandwagon. Because I truly believe in my heart of hearts, we all want to solve this problem. But Pastor Lou, you are exactly right. The mayor, by myself, the city council, the police department, you know, it's not a policing problem. You know, we have educators in this room, and they know too that they want to do better. I had an opportunity earlier tonight to speak to another group, and my comment to them was, what is it that we're going to do differently tomorrow than what we did yesterday to make this community better? And I'm serious about that. What is Sandy Stimson, what am I willing to do personally to sacrifice? We're trying to make the community better for every single person. And so as we absorb these stories, as we maybe pick up an idea about what you see has happened somewhere else and it's been successful, Pastor Lou, I think that you recognize that we have embraced over the years some very novel ideas, and we have created some brand new opportunities that didn't exist. But at the end of the day, the result is that we still have this escalating violence. I have a thought, and it's just a small piece of the problem. And it stems from going to where the juveniles are held and incarcerated, and sitting there with probably 10 of them. And all of them were there because they had challenged childhoods. And we asked them, did they have a family member who had been killed? And several of them raised their hand. We asked them, you know, had they been involved in some kind of shooting? They raised their hand. And at some point the question was asked, there were no counselors in the room. There was me and the chief of police. That was only 3 people in the room, only 2 people in the room listening to them. And we asked them about carrying guns. And without exception, every one of them said, I feel like I have to carry a gun to protect myself. My personal belief is that is the wrong reason to be carrying a gun. And the reason I say that is this. The chance of somebody walking up to you and just shooting you in cold blood, it's small. But if somebody walks up to you and they have a gun, they show you a gun, you pull your gun, it's about 100% chance that somebody's going to shoot somebody. You've tried to protect yourself, but as soon as you show that gun, somebody's going to pull a trigger. So the message to our young people that you carry a gun to protect yourself, you know, they are not, maybe they can't process what's going to happen. And so yes, we're trying to get guns out of the street, but we have first-hand information where we know that mamas or family members are telling children it's okay to carry a gun to protect yourself. And look, I don't live, you know, in those circumstances, so I do not want to be judgmental of it. I just throw that out as a thought. Anyway, I can assure you, every single day, that Director Batiste and Chief Prime and all of our men and women in blue, when we wake up every day, we are trying to figure out what can we do for the policing aspect of it to protect you and to protect your children. And as you download that information to you, and as we come together and the things that you're doing and that we're doing, we will make a difference. But it has to be the commitment, Pastor Lou, that I think that you're looking for. And I think that you're right. You need to tell this story, not just here at this church. You need to be telling it all over Mobile. I mean, you're looking for funding, and I think there are people all over this city that would help, you know, with the funding. But we're all in. We're all in, and we've got to make a difference. And so thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight, and I hope that this, you know, starts a fire, you know, that will spread through this community so that a year from now, 6 months from now, 3 months from now, you know, even if it's just one life that we save tomorrow, it'll be worth everything that we do. So thank you for the opportunity. And God bless you.
Good evening. I'm Jeffrey Redding, Pastor Lou, all you here tonight. I was having this the night in reading the night of the deed, and it takes us back what I call, allow me to just be a preacher, because I am. It's the law of first mention. The law of first mention. Book of Genesis chapter 4. That was the first murder case known to mankind. And that's the violence. That's the violence. And the question is, why is there violence? What is the cause of violence? The cause of violence is the fight between fulfillment and failure. It's the fight between fulfillment and failure. It was two brothers, Cain and Abel. One fulfilled his obligation, his opportunity, and his offering. Cain failed in his obligation, his opportunity, and his offering. And resentment sets in, and we're warred against each other. Even things that brought up, raised to remember, the smart kids had to take them to avoid being criticized or jumped on by the dumb students. Resentment sets in because of the fight between fulfillment and failure. Trying to get to upgrade our mentality of our young people, to not condemn those who are succeeding, but try to be like them. You know, the problem is that we try to make the strong weak like we are, instead of becoming strong like they are. The fight happens over and over again. It's the violence. Not the violence, but this is the victims. It's the victims. What happened after death? What happened? You have Adam and Eve, parents, who now lost a child. Cain lost a brother. They're the same village, same family, same community. And it's not among strangers. Genesis 4 says that Cain rose up against his brother. That's family. That's household. That's at the same table, in the same bedroom, in the same home. We're not like strangers. It's each other. Because those that we know, that we've walked with, gone to school with, work with, played with. It's in the same community. And victims are being left wondering why. Not only that, but it's the voice. It's the voice. Now hear this. Hear this. It's the voice. The Bible says, just 4 verse 10, hear what it says. It says that God asked Cain, what have you done? He asked him because he said, the blood of Abel cried from the ground. The blood spoke up. was overdone, the blood cried. Now his thing is, the blood crying, the word crying in Hebrew is in the plural. In the plural, which means that when Cain killed Abel, he just killed Abel. He killed the loins. He killed the lineage of Abel. It's plural. You know, if someone had killed my dad, he would have killed me, my brothers, my sisters, my daughters, my grandchildren. When you kill one, it's not just that one, it's plural. The whole loins go miss out. And you wonder, what do you miss? Who do you miss? You miss that professional. You miss that position. You miss that position of assignment. Because you cut it off in one. Our children, their children, are being cut off. They don't feel the freedom. They don't feel the freedom. They don't feel the freedom. When you kill one, it's not just that one, it's plural. And the blood is crying, why didn't I live? Why didn't I play my role beside me? Why didn't I show up on the scene? You know this movie years ago, Chapter 9 came out. It's called The Race for the Sperm. It shows where millions of cells are racing to get an egg to be born. And only one baby. That's us. We made it. When they kill Abel, they cut off the wind of the Lord that wanted to sing, wanted to be here tonight, but we killed him years ago. And we thought it was just one. But the Lord that were full of potential, full of purpose, was cut off. Let's look at with the Bible. What does life cost? What is life worth? For us, our actions is not worth much. Yes, take away a career, take away a life with no thought, no consciousness, no remorse. Just kill, just shoot, just destroy, and families are in disarray. Families are upset, suffering, because there's no balance in life. We're going to stop this going on. We've got to raise the balance. Make life worth it. Like the church is not a thing over here, and life is worth living. Because he lives. And you know, my point was to say this. Because church is the only institution that is proactive in life. Everybody else reacts. The police come after. The Bible comes after. The ambulance comes after. But the church, you just get to the church, get some God in their heart. Gotta be proactive. If they put it around there and shoot, the Lord can touch them. God can change them. You gotta make life worth it. And see each other as a valuable asset. We need each other. I'm gonna miss what I could have had if you were not here. This identity is about violence, it's about the victim, it's about the voice, but also about failure. These things happen tonight. They are simply perspective. You can't have the victory over the violence. The church vessel say amen.
Amen.
Good evening to everyone. Thank you all for coming. Much has been said tonight. And with all that has been said, I want to live. I want to live. But I am determined, and have been for some time, that I am also willing to die, that I may impact my community, that others may live, that the community may live in a full way. There are others that are here that are committed to put our life on the line, to do what we call street walks, to walk in the midst of those who are perpetrating violence. And as we look at our call to action, we want to do more than just depend on the police department. We want others to see us. We want to intervene. We want to meet them on the battleground and to help them to see that they can get along without violence. We've shared in various communities that there's a better way. There's a better way. Thank you, Rabbi, for giving us that faith reflection. The sister says, we deserve to live on our Father's land. The boys and girls that are being shot at, they deserve to live. They deserve a chance to live in this community and to enjoy what God has placed here and to pay their debt to society. So we're asking that we put some of this into action. Our group is Faith in Action. Not just amen in the pews, but in the community. We ask that you join with us, that we get the community action groups together again, as Captain shared, that we began to reason together. And as we reason together, that we're sharing with one another, but we also invite you to walk with us so that we can show some love to those who are out fighting with guns and violence. Walk with us. Share with us. Don't let this be the last time. Come be a part of us. Amen.
Next steps. Please go to Faith in Action, Alabama Mobile Hub on Facebook to hear about meeting times. Please go back to that Facebook page to see our community roundtables in neighborhoods across our city. Those are the next steps on the script. But these are the next steps from our heart. Step number one, we got to learn to trust each other again. Step number two, we got to travel with each other again. That means sometimes going down roads you've never known before. But if that's where your brother or sister is hurting, because I'm traveling with them, I want to know their pain. I travail with them. We don't have people in here who are coming to share empathy or vain sympathy. We have people in here who are actually hurt that someone's child, someone's family member has fallen victim, either as a perpetrator or tragically injured or gunned down. And then finally, the next step is to triumph. The next step is to triumph. The next step is to triumph. I can't say we want to live if I don't expect to triumph. I can't say I want to live if I don't expect to triumph. And I'm going to say this as the pastor of Stewart Memorial CME Church. CMEs get a bad name. That we have no spirit, we have no joy, we bland and we dry. But the fact of the matter is, it feels like our community has become like those Ezekiel was seen in the valley in chapter number 37. Dry. Every death makes us dry. Every crime makes us drier. Every day makes us drier. But we come by to tell you tonight that we serve an almighty God. An almighty God who knows all. And we unashamedly put God in the mix. Because without God, we are nothing. But with God, we can do everything. So I'm speaking life to those bones in Maysville. I'm speaking life to those bones in Thomasville. I'm speaking life to those bones in Pritchard. I'm speaking life to those bones in used to be Happy Hill. I'm speaking life to those bones in Tillman's Corner. I'm speaking the life to those bones at Government Plaza. I'm speaking the life to those bones. Because I'm tired of walking out of sanctuaries feeling worse than I was before. If God, no matter who you call God, is God, no weapon formed against us shall be able to prosper. If God is God, no matter what you call God, what they meant for evil, God is going to turn it around for our good. What you call God, who you call God, has come by to remind us. Don't grow weary in doing what is right. Because in due season, the guns are going to drop. In due season, the bloodshed is going to stop. In due season, moms and us are going to stop crying at Saturday funerals and getting ready for Sunday afternoon graduations at Morehouse, USA, Spelman, and Harvard. In due season, we shall reap if we faint not. We want to live. We want to live. We want to live. We want to live. And guess what? The 251 shall live. The 251 shall live. The 251 shall live. As we rise together. I need you to turn to your neighbor. Say, neighbor, we shall live. But I don't want to live without you. Tell me these words. I need you. You need me. We're all a part of God's body. I pray for you. You pray for me. We're all a part of God's body. It is God's will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. Take the time to say that part. You are important to me. You are important to me. You are important to me. I need you. I need you. I need you to survive. Now you got some home. Go home. Put it on Facebook. Put it on Instagram. And tell somebody, I want to live. Thank you. Team, leadership team, please meet us in the choir stand. Leadership team, please meet us in the choir stand. We want to say good evening to our executive director, Daniel Schwartz, our local attorney in Alabama. Again, thank you everybody for being here tonight. We want to live.